Hope you're having a handout. Or before we do an illustration, we can look at something else. We can look something else. We can look at something else. Now let's look at the option styles. Option styles. Option styles. Now for the option style, we have 3 types of option style. Number 1, we have what we call the American style. Now American style, in this case, you can be able to exercise either to buy or the sell. To buy or the sell. I'm sure some of you, I can see they are saying they don't have the handout. It's okay. I just display it here. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So we are saying that we are looking at option style. We have 3 classes of option style. Number 1, we have American style. Now, an American style is an option where you can exercise. Exercising, that means you can either buy or sell this option at maturity date only. I repeat again, we have 3 types of options. Number 1, we have European option, we have American option, and we have Bermudian option. Those are the option style we have. Number 1, we start with the European. Now, European option, in this case, is an option where you can buy or sell only at maturity date only. That's when you can exercise the right only at maturity date. Then we have an American option. An American option style. This means you can exercise on or before maturity. Then you also have Bermudian. Bermudian is more like American. So that means you can exercise on or before, but you have to specify the date. I repeat again. We have 3 option style. Number 1, we have the European option. European option style, you can only exercise. That means you can either buy or sell. The buyer can buy or sell at maturity date only. That's the European. Then we have American. American, you can exercise. That means you can buy or sell on or before maturity date. Then also you have the Bermudian. Bermudian is the same as an American, where you can buy or sell on or before, but in this case, you have to specify the date. So those are the options we have. Those are the 3. European option, American, and Bermudian. So those are the classification of the option style based on the settlement date. Then we have other classification of options that based on the payoff. Classification of options based on the payoff. Now, based on the payoff in another word just means the profit. Also, in this case, based on the payoff, they are classified into 3. Number 1, we have what we call in the money, we have at the money, and we have out of the money. I repeat again, classification of option based on the payoff. I've said that the payoff, their profit. So number 1, we have the in the money option. Now, in the money option, in the money just means ndani ya pesa, in the money. So that means an option in that if you exercise now, you'll get a profit. That's what we call in the money. Then number 2, we have out of the money. Here ni nje ya pesa. Out of the money, that means that if you exercise this security now, definitely you get a loss. That's what we call out of the money option. And then number 3, we have what we call at the money. At the money, that means when you exercise now, you'll not gain, you'll not lose. That means you just break even. So in the money, if you exercise now, you get the profit. Out of the money, nje ya pesa, if you exercise now, you get a loss. And number 3, we have at the money. At the money, you'll not gain, you'll not lose. That means you'll get a payoff of 0. So that is it. So now let's do an illustration. Let's do an illustration. So in this case, I want us to do an illustration. I want to display this illustration here. Let's do this illustration. So suppose a security has an exercise or strike price of 30 with a gain, with a premium of 5. Remember I said that a premium, that means an unrefundable fee. That means it's an expense. I repeat again. Suppose a security has an exercise or strike price of 30 and a premium of 5. Determine the value of the both call option and put option, as well as the profit or loss, assuming the following prevailing market prices. You're given the market price of 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. So in this case, you are given the exercise price. That means when you buy or you sell it at 30. But the market price can either be 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, or 45. So in this case, you need to determine the value for the both call option and the put option. Also, you need to get the profit or loss. So how do we determine that? How do we determine that? Now, this is how we determine. This is how we determine now. First of all, you need to get the value of the call. We start with the value of the call. You have said that the value of the call option, the value of the call option, you take maximum, then you take the market price per share, then you deduct the exercise price, 0. Now that's how you get the value of the call. Then how do we get the profit or loss? The profit or loss, we have said that in this case, you just take the value of the call, you deduct the premium. So you need to differentiate the two. Now let's get the value of the call. So you take the maximum, then you take the market price. The market price, we are told that it can either be 20, it can also be 25, it can be 30, it can be 35, it can be 40, it can be 45. Then you deduct the exercise price. Remember, we are told that the exercise price will be 30. So that means you deduct 30. Now let's get that. 45 minus 30, that means you'll get 15. 40 minus 30, you get 10. That